You know that you need media mentions to grow your brand and authority in the age of AI search, right? But those SOS, formerly HARO emails, get overwhelming super fast with hundreds of PR requests landing in your inbox every single day. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact AI-powered Make.com workflow that I use to filter SOS HARO emails automatically for my expertise. It scans each message, digs out only the PR requests that are perfect for me, and delivers them straight to my Slack. And it helps me avoid wasting time on irrelevant pitches. This exact approach has helped me to land media mentions in top publications like Business Insider, the Financial Times, and CNN. And today, I'm going to show you how to set it up for yourself. Responding to these kind of journalist requests can be really good for your website growth and visibility. Here's an example of Ahrefs for my personal website here. And as you can see, I have got some powerful backlinks from CNN.com. That one came from journalist request. BusinessInsider.com as well. There's a whole bunch here, and quite a lot of them came from applying to these. It is definitely worth doing this because you can find some really good opportunities. I remember there's moneytalks.news.com as well. Just to show you how it looks, I've got some really juicy links there, and you can do the same if you make a habit of regularly responding to these journalist requests. So basically, it's very simple. There are 3 modules, and first it checks my email box for the incoming emails, then it filters for relevant queries and sends a roundup to my Slack. Now, let me show you the emails that come in. Here's an example. Now, actually, I got this wrong in the intro. Peter Shankman is the original founder of HARO, but HARO was actually sold, I think, last year. So now he has launched this independent journalist request service called SOS, or Source of Sources, just to clarify that. And you can sign up for that. It's completely free, and it's actually very useful. But the problem I found is that just like HARO used to be, you get 2 emails a day with a big list of all these different queries from journalists, right? These long list of requests. And this can be quite overwhelming. And it also, in the end, for me anyway, it made me feel like I just didn't bother to check them anymore because I was feeling totally overwhelmed. So I built the automation just to help me cut through the noise and just get a couple of queries each day that were relevant to the topics I want to focus on. And here's what that looks like. So let's have a look at my Slack here. This journo request Slack channel is where the workflow puts all of the queries that it's picked out for me. And this is one it picked out last week. As you can see, okay, here it is. So it sends me this little automated message. Please review and decide whether you want to answer. And it picked out this one here, the AI transparency dilemma for content creators. And actually, this is a really relevant one. And I was sick over the weekend, so I missed this one, which I'm quite sad about because it's pretty relevant. It's content marketers, it's AI transparency and disclosure, and it's emerging research. I work in content marketing, and I have an agency, and I'm also an academic with experience in AI. So, she's got quite a long list of people who can answer this request, and they need to be able to prove the role via LinkedIn and website. So I think I would have had a good shot at sending in a response to this. Unfortunately, I missed it. But this is just an example of the quality of requests that this system can narrow down for you. I've also got it set up to exclude things that don't match. So for example, if nothing matches, then it just sends no matches. And that's fine because it avoids wasting my time with anything that doesn't fit. So let me just show you quickly how that works in the wild. I'm going to go over to the automation and I'm going to run it on the latest email today. As you can see here, I've got it activated and set up to run every day, 7 p.m. London, Lisbon time. Now, the reason I picked this time is because Peter Shankman sends his emails once in the morning and once in the afternoon. I think it's East Coast time. So by choosing 7 p.m. London time, it makes sure that the system has the chance to operate on both of his emails and pull in all of those queries into one analysis. So I'm going to do a manual run just to show you. I'm going to choose where to start and just pick out the first email here, the most recent one. So here we go. As you can see, there's lots of them. So we're just going to click run once and watch that do its thing. So it checks pretty quickly because that was only one email to deal with right now. And then you can see it's going into OpenAI, and ChatGPT is filtering for relevant queries based on a prompt that I've written that contains all of my keywords of possible terms relevant to my business and even to me as an individual, just to give me more scope for answering different requests. So as you can see, it's finished already, and we can go to Slack to have a look. Okay, now there were no matches today. And if we look at the most recent email, we will see that really this is accurate, because I don't work in biotech and healthcare. These business and finance topics are not for me. Gift guide ideas is not something I want to focus on. And restaurants in New York City and US airlines, again, are not relevant to me. It's pretty accurate, and I don't need to worry about going through this email and digging through, looking for possible queries. That's how the system works. It's super simple, but it really has helped me cut through the noise and save me a lot of time, while helping to make sure that I actually pick up these queries and engage with them and use them to improve my brand and improve my visibility. All right, so next up, I'm going to show you how to build this from scratch. All right, here I am again in make.com. I'm just going to click create scenario, and let's build this from scratch. The first module we need to have is an email module, and this is going to trigger when a new email is received. And we're going to use watch emails because we want to trigger this when a new email comes in. Let's have a look at the email here to find some information that can help the system identify this email. So they always come from peter@shankman.com. So I'm going to put that as the sender email address. And they always come to my email, hello@samanthanorth.com. So we can already set that up here. And the subject line is always the same. Every email he sends always looks the same. So yeah, so we can safely put SOS media queries in the subject line, and that will reliably find it. For maximum number of results, we're going to get 2 because he sends 2 emails a day. Let's just make sure it's on the right connection, which is this one, and make sure it's in the right folder as well, which is that one for my hello@samanthanorth.com email. Okay, let's do it from now on for now. So we've got the first one. Let's just save this. Okay, so next up, we've got a system in place to watch the emails coming in as they come in, and we are now going to add some AI intelligence to help us filter these. Now, when I first had a go at building this, I was using a text parser and trying to set it up to go through the structure of these emails and pull in like the relevant ones, and it was really tricky to do. But in the end, I decided to make my life easier. I'm just going to go ahead and let AI do it because that's what it's all about, right? So let's go to OpenAI and click Create a Completion. And we are going to select Model. I'm going to try ChatGPT-5 System for now. I think it's the best choice for this task. I will leave the tokens as is. And we're going to add 2 messages here. So the first one is a developer system message. And this is to tell the AI how it should behave for this task. I've got the prompt here. Let's just pop that in. A triage assistant for journalist source requests who analyzes long emails full of queries and extracts only the relevant ones for my business and expertise. Then we're going to add a second message right here, and this is a user role with detailed instructions for how to do this. Let's grab that. Okay, so as you can see, this is quite a detailed prompt. Let's just make sure it has the correct email text from the email module, and it's going to be text content, which is cleaner than HTML. So just the body of the full email, all of this as plain text will be grabbed and sent into the system. And just to give it a bit of help, I've told it that each new request starts with a list number and the word summaries. For example, here we go. Yeah. So that just kind of guides it so that it knows to look for the right thing. So that I'm telling it exactly what to do. I'm giving it a list of all the different topics that are relevant to me, both in my business and me as an individual. I like to include the individual things because I also have my personal website, samanthanorth.com. And sometimes some of these more outlying topics can still be good for getting a backlink and strengthening the visibility of that website, as well as my AI automation business. It's good to keep it broad if you also have a personal blog. Then I give it a bit of nuance. So, letting it know that even if it's not the exact words, but still relevant, then they can still return it. And then also being quite clear about what it ought to ignore. I've noticed that a lot of requests ask for specific in-house company roles like VP, CIO, Chief Product Officer, and so on. And of course, I don't hold any of these roles and I never have, so this is totally not relevant, but they can use founder, which is acceptable. And then I make sure it doesn't try and force relevancy and that it feels free, if nothing is directly relevant, just to come back with no matches. That's fine. And then I instruct it to how I want it to return the output and no explanatory text and just clean text for Slack No need for any JSON or HTML or anything like that. And that's all. Let's just save this. Okay, and we're almost there. So I'm just going to add the Slack module. Now, you could also set it up to email you if you wanted with the results, but I prefer to keep it all in Slack because it's just easier. Then let's do create a message. Let's pick the right channel ID from the list. And I've already created this channel. It's private. And it's called journo requests. And it's this one here that you can see in my Slack. And that will send it straight into this channel. Here are your new requests. And then we can put the result from ChatGPT. Okay, and I think that's going to be enough. So let's just save that. And we can also choose if we want to run it manually or if we want to have it running in the background. So for my purposes, I like to have it running in the background so I have one less thing to think about. It's up to you, but if you're following the SOS media queries service from Peter Shankman, then know that he sends one email in the morning, Eastern time, I believe, and one email in the evening. Whatever your time zone is, you should set that up to capture both the emails for the day. That's how I do it anyway. To do that, you can just say every day and you can choose a time. For my purposes, 7 o'clock was a good time in my Europe-London time zone. So I do that, and then I activate the scenario, click save, and that is now ready to go, waiting in the background to make my life easier by filtering all of my incoming journalist requests. And that's it. You've just learned how to set up this workflow step by step. If you want to grab the exact make.com template I built in this video, you can find the free download link in the description below. And I'm also building a private AI automation and visibility community where I'll be sharing behind the scenes builds like this, plus all my strategies for turning automation and AI into real revenue. You can join the waitlist and you can find the link for that in the description as well. And if you found this video useful, please hit like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next one. It really helps me to keep making these tutorials for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.